Hello, wonderful listeners. Remember now, Elin is at the hotel contemplating all these things occurring right now in her life. So let's see what she's saying. This pattern had occurred throughout her lifetime without fail. It happened with which schools to attend, which job offers to accept, what books to write, etc., etc., etc. She knew in her heart of faith that it would be no different now. One of the most important decisions of her life had to have an answer soon. She couldn't stand the thought of how TH must be hurting right now. She would have to make him understand that it just had to be done this way. Meanwhile, John felt like a new man after leaving the meeting with Pastor Owens. Not only did the pastor have profound wisdom, he made John realize how God had always been with him. He had understanding of so many things that happened to him, and he now felt that great love that the pastor talked about. He had to dash home and pack for the trip back to Chicago because he could not allow another day to pass without seeing Rena. The pastor had truly intrigued him when he explained Rena's magnetism. Rena, my flight will be landing at 7 a.m., and I look forward to our next meeting. As John ended the call to Rena, he hoped with all his heart that Rena would soon get his message. He couldn't wait to hear that voice again. It was like the soothing ambiance of spring, with the rainbow of flowers peaking at their highest beauty. Much of what Pastor Owens taught him about the phenomena of Rena made sense as it pertained to the spiritual, but when John tried to think rationally about the things that had transpired, it was almost unreasonable. Of course, the pastor also had an answer for that as well. Son, never lose your connection with faith. Those words spoken to him so profoundly still echoed deep within John, and now seemed to renew his mind in critical areas of his life. He was filled with enthusiasm as he contemplated talking with TH to confide in him everything he has experienced. He knew of his Hyde Park address, but was it a good idea to just drop in? Well, he'd think about all that later. First, he had to check into his hotel suite. Making arrangements to be there for a while was the best idea possible because he needed to buy a house and establish the nutrition center there in Chicago. He must say that Chicago runs neck and neck with some of the finest cities in the world. The hotel is quite exquisite, and the service is outstanding. Well, what else could one expect, seeing how it is the city of the 44th president? Hello, TH, this is your brother calling. Man, where are you? Give me a call when you get this message. John had hoped that his pal was all right because TH wasn't himself as of late. John knew that TH's love for Elin was all-consuming. He now saw that as being good. Maybe he had finally had enough of my behavior after all of these years, John feared. And that is what he desperately needed to talk with TH about. TH had never really confronted John over anything because he was too good of a friend for that. But John knew that he had a lot of explaining to do. TH felt so ashamed with the thoughts bombarding him. Why doesn't she just call and let me know she's all right? This isn't like Elin to have me worried like this. He has probably already turned her against me. Who knows what he is capable of? My God, I don't even know him after all these years. How could he do this to me? TH went on and on. How dare he try calling himself my brother? Sure, he's a brother to me, like Cain was to Abel. Then a voice came. Stop this right now. Son, listen to the still small voice. His father's words were like soothing drips of honey on his tongue that settled his mind and calmed his emotions. How he missed those long talks with his dad, but he was thankful for the journal left to him to meditate during times of uncertainty. Although that had been many years ago, when he was a mere kid, he still remembers walking in on his dad as he was writing the journals. The conversation is still so vivid in his mind. Hey, Dad, what are you writing? Son, this is a treasure of mine just for you. My desire is for you to know that there is a greater one always looking out for you. Always, TH. I don't want you to ever doubt that. I want you to promise me that when thoughts in your mind start to invade the peace that you know, go to the journal and proceed to just read. TH remembered so well making that promise to his dad, and without hesitation, walking quickly to his bedroom, he retrieved the journal from the drawer. He reclined back upon the bed and began reading. Almost immediately, peace of mind invaded his thoughts with a tranquility that no drug could ever get close to simulating. After almost 3 hours of being soaked in the light of his father's words, TH searched for his cellular to return John's calls. John read himself into a state of oblivion as he highlighted key points of the prayers that Pastor Owens had bound for him. The amazing thing was that these were the very prayers that the pastor had prayed specifically for John over all these years. He greatly admires this man who has such wisdom that although he was a young man himself, he knew what prayers needed to be offered for this scrawny little kid. Pastor Owens was so right about the truth that would resonate with Ann as he read. This was knowledge that conveyed the true John, not some fabricated person that circumstances tried to create. John was startled into the present moment as his phone rang. When he saw that it was TH, immediately he began sharing things from his heart, but it didn't seem to fall on listening ears. Each man discovered that they were both excitedly talking simultaneously, and that the one hadn't known what the other was saying. Okay, John, you speak first. No, TH, you go first. As quickly as the fast talk resumed between the two, it stopped once again when each realized they were still talking at the same time. Now all anyone heard was a roaring laughter that echoed through the phone lines. Since we don't appear to be capable of doing this over the phone, we should meet. Quickly agreeing, John said, TH, you were always the smart one. Listen, John, here's my address. I already have it. Now who's the smart one? Quipped TH. Again, the sounds of elation erupted through the phone lines. Chapter 7. Rena was bubbling with joy and enthusiasm about this friend of David's. She truly needed to talk to Elin about all that had transpired since she left for Michigan. All Elin had told her for this sudden departure was that she needed to think hard on some things. She made Rena promise to trust her and give her this time. Rena also made Elin promise to reveal everything when she returns. Elin had better hurry and call, or she'll have to be intruded upon. After all, I am sure that she would forgive me, seeing that it was always her idea that I should meet someone. And wouldn't she be proud of me to know that I didn't dismiss him like all the others? Indeed, there was honestly something quite peculiar about this tall, handsome stranger. It seemed a bit outlandish, but John totally reminded her of T.H. They were both approximately the same height, same charm, and to say the least, breathtakingly handsome. No, Elin was not going to believe this. Rena thought about how she was becoming more like her dear friend every day. She had taken on Elin's peculiarity, with always letting the man be the one to call. Of course, they argued about this considerably until one day Rena thought she'd give it a try. And when you just know that Elin was right again. When they talked about it, Elin refused to take the credit because it was her father who taught his daughter those very profound things concerning men. She greatly loved, respected, and honored her father, placing high value on everything he taught her. Rena remembered when Elin discovered that she and T.H. shared some important commonality. Each was very close with their father, was taught golden nuggets of truth, and had both lost their fathers. Elin had been so excited to read about this special relationship between T.H. and his father.